happens with Caylee, Casey, I'll die. You understand? I'll die. If anything happens to that baby.
Oh my God. You know I would not let anything happen to my daughter. If I knew where she was, this wouldn't be going on.
What can you tell us, Casey? Nothing right now. You heard the attorney. Come on, back up, let her. Back up, come on, give her a break.
I'm Pat Alama in for Nancy Grace, and there it was, the big day of drama. And if I understood Leonard correctly a few minutes ago, you were trying to make the point that the chain of custody with the car is all messed up and compromised. Richard Herman, as a defense attorney, would you challenge that, the business with the car and the dogs and all of this?
Pat, you know we challenge that, absolutely.
Yeah, I know. I had to ask.
Yeah,
right?
and you know, the house, too. I mean, the house, the crime scene's been corrupted anyway. They've had media walk through there. They've had 1 million people walking out of that house since she came home today. So please, you challenge a chain of custody absolutely on that car.
John Lusich, what about that? I mean, is everything compromised now?
No, absolutely not. In fact, the chain of custody does not include the towing company, okay? When cops take that into possession and they sign those documents, that's when the chain of custody begins. It's not when everybody touches the car beforehand. Hey, can a crime scene be corrupted? Absolutely, but it has nothing to do with the chain of custody whatsoever, and these guys are not going to have an issue with that.
Mark Williams, what's the latest on the investigation and the search for Caylee?
Well, as we've documented in the past, Pat, the search, the on-ground search has not been going on for the past couple of days, just due to the fact that we've had Tropical Storm Faye really hang over the area for a while. However, they are back in their offices working the phone, working the 1,300 tips they've received over the past month or so, Pat.
Lawrence Kobelinsky, I'm watching that downpour down there in Florida, and I can't help but think, you know, if there was something to salvage evidence-wise, you know, it may be washed away. That's a possibility, right?
Absolutely. I think if there's any kind of evidence or anything biological out there, we're talking about temperature, humidity, bacteria, fungi. All of these environmental factors can compromise any evidence. And anything out there, remember, she's been missing quite a long time at this point. So there's a lot of questions about whether anything can be salvaged if it's out there in the field.
You know, Leonard Padilla, you have professed your belief that, you know, that Caylee is alive and that the truth will come out and, you know, all of this will be resolved and that perhaps Casey just made some silly mistake and, you know, et cetera, et cetera. But this is a woman who cannot stop lying. This is a woman who said she spoke to her daughter for 1 minute not all that long ago, but there's absolutely no record of that. Where is your faith? From where does your faith, you know, reveal itself?
I'm not as sick as some of these other people that want to find her dead.
Well, I don't know that that's the case. I think
of course it is.
Leonard,
why don't they be positive?
People are legitimately suspicious about a woman who will take a lie to the 10th degree.
You know, the easiest way to solve a case sometimes is not to be suspicious of the obvious. I mean, my God, if the cops had evidence, they'd have booked her on a murder or a manslaughter charge. They haven't done that.
Bethany Marshall, thank God for you, because I know I'm not crazy about this. Here is a woman who is she's got a cop and a nurse for parents, and she's a high school dropout. How does that happen? She's no real steady employment. How does that happen? Who's paying her bills? Are you telling me her parents didn't know how screwed up her life was? She claims the father of the child never knew that she was pregnant. Oh, real nice. Perhaps that family had, you know, they had a right to know the child existed. She claims the father died in a car crash and nobody knows where to find the rest of the family. She's lied to authorities. She's taken them to the ends of hell, saying I work here, and then turned around and gone, no, I really don't. You know, come on, what are we dealing with here?
It is a complex question. You know, it's easy to blame the mother and the father and to try to draw a direct link. But research is showing that if someone has antisocial or sociopathic personality, that sometimes they have what we call autonomic underarousal, meaning they don't have as much anxiety as you and I do about getting into trouble. And how the conscience forms is then when we're little kids and we do naughty things and our mother gets mad at us, we become anxious that the mother will withdraw her love. But if you're born biologically with lower amounts of anxiety, so you're not anxious about the mother withdrawing her love, what is there to cause the conscience to form? What is there to then help you bond to other people and to have a sense of wrongdoing in the world? What is there to form anxiety about where your daughter is when your daughter gets lost? So the question of how someone gets to be this way, I think we should not rush to blame the parents. I think they're probably really having
Bethany,
eye-opening...
hold on. I'm not blaming the parents. I just want to know, you know, the lies. There's something very, very deep-seated in the continuing lies, and you can't deny it.
Perhaps I'm speaking to myself because I always try to take a look at what happened in the family, but it's not always so linear and causal. In terms of the lies, she also may have something what we call verbal aphasia. Verbal aphasia is when there's not the deep emotions behind the words. An example would be when the BTK killer said in court, "I comforted my victim before I strangled her," and we're like, huh? What does that mean? It's because comfort does not carry the same meaning that it did for him that it does for us. When she said in the jailhouse phone calls, whoa, 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 don't you think I'm concerned about my daughter or something like that? The word concern may not have the same emotional depth for her that it does for us.
Well, clearly not, because John Lusich, when I hear a girlfriend crying, you know, I'm so worried about Casey, and she goes, oh my God, you know, it's such a waste to call this house. I understand that people grieve differently. I know not everybody does it Italian style like I do, but what I'm saying is, I don't know, how do you discount such a lack of emotion when your baby's gone?
I agree with you. I believe that everybody in America cares more about this missing baby than Casey does. And Mr. Padilla, by the way, suspicion solves crimes, not taking a positive attitude.